just two more replays using this composition. The first replay is this composition against another Nemesis base. I've been hunting these bases almost exclusively. These things are turning out to be my white whale. Now, one of the interesting things about this, and you probably starting to see some repeatable themes here, starting in the bottom, moving up towards the right, punching in through the east, trying to target those Inferno towers as quickly as possible. And there were 4-point defenses on her, but AQ 40 plus 5 healers, or 4 if that's what you're bringing, that's enough to, at least under rage, that's enough to gut that entire side. Now, if you remember, these are resource ring bases, and if you don't cut these resource ring bases the right way, you'll end up losing your defense-led troops to the outer ring, and then they'll go take a walk, and then you're done. But I mean, that's one of the beauties of this. That's one of the beauties of this composition, is that you have those Valks to go in and do some of that non-targeted damage, just to the other buildings. Plus, that softened up core with the four earthquakes. So once you get into that corner and they meet up with the AQ, they really have no other place to go except for the core. And then once you get that rage going, boy, I mean, that's when the damage starts and things just start falling like clockwork. And then what I've been seeing more often than not with these attacks, especially against multi-target Inferno configurations, is that if you can put your heroes, or at least the BK and the Valks, on those Infernos fast enough, your AQ will be clear to roam the rest of the base to clear it for 3 stars, and that's something that happens pretty regularly, and you're going to see that happen here. And as far as spell compositions, again, it's very flexible. I like to save at least 1 rage for the healer AQ, because I mean, you saw it right there. I popped it off, right at the beginning on the highest concentration of DPS, and she was able to completely clear out that wall and then fight her way into the base. That was the other thing. I didn't wall break her way into the base. I left her outside, just to keep her out of range of those Infernos as long as possible. You don't really gain anything by getting her into the core quickly. You want to leave her outside the base for as long as possible. But this is one of the typical things that happens with this composition, in that so long as you can gut those defenses in the core, she'll be free to run around to clean up for 3 stars. Now, the next replay we're going to be looking at, this is coming in from, again, Flo, who's been running this composition. He's in Masters 2, and he is a lower Town Hall 10 with lower heroes, but still applying the same tactics and strategies, picking just against lower bases, which is completely fine from a matchmaking perspective, because we're talking about the tactics here, and you can apply these tactics as you grow in level over the course of your hero development. And again, this base is not the best base. It's a riff on the Nemesis base with but it defeats itself by putting in those silly little wall junctures, which just act as natural funnels for the base. And it is a lower Town Hall 10 with low Town Hall 9 defenses and then Infernos, so very easy base from a DPS perspective. You're not running up against that much DPS, but all of the same rules apply. Just leave the AQ alone, let her go in and clear stuff out, so that your troops, your non-defense led troops, the Valks anyway, have a clear shot into the core, and they don't get distracted by any of those other trash buildings around the core. Again, there's a lot of variations to this attack. A lot of people have been suggesting you do it with 4 healers. I like to bring 5 just to have that extra backup for when one of them goes down. And I'm already 3-starring these bases with 5 healers. So I don't know what else I could throw that 14 troop space at. But in terms of spell loadouts, you really only need the 2 rages, 1 for the core, 1 for the queen. The 3rd rage is optional. You can bring a heal, you can bring a freeze. I mean, it's really up to you. I found it's a lot more effective if you just put down the defenses as quickly as possible. Then you won't need to heal anything, because more often than not, what ends up happening is your healers are left over and will either split off your AQ and go heal some other group, or just stay on the AQ and then the other group can peter out, clearing what they are. Clearing what they're targeting. So long as you get all the air defenses down, or at least have the AQ in a position to be able to take down all of those air defenses, it's quite often, as a consequence of this composition, you'll just end up 3-starring the base even by accident. And that's one of the things that you saw in the earlier raid. Would have been happy with a 2-star, but the heroes were doing such a great job of clearing out the core that the AQ was left to roam freely throughout the base and then clear it for 3 stars, which Flo does here again. So always happy to see this. We are also testing this at Town Hall 9. Again, it's a blunt instrument. There's nothing really precision about it, but it has been a lot of fun and people have been having some great success with it. So great job there, Flo.